tonight know very little about me. I'd like to clear that up, tell you a little bit about myself, and explain some of the events that have brought me here tonight. I was born in Bridgeport Hospital, and I grew up in Fairfield. I had cousins who lived on Hockenham Road in Westport, and as a child, I spent many days at Cumberland Beach. My father owned a newsstand in downtown Bridgeport, and as I grew up, I worked behind the counter with my grandmother, selling newspapers, magazines, candy, and soda. After I graduated from college, I came back to Connecticut. Connecticut has a quality of life that I loved, and I wanted to raise a family here. Connecticut has been and always will be my home. In 1999, I married the love of my life, and in 2000, we were lucky enough to find a fixer-upper in Westport, and we've been here ever since. Once back in Connecticut, I started my own businesses. I created a chain of laundromats up and down Route 8. I built a store in Ansonia, I built a store in Seymour, Naugatuck, and Waterbury. I also purchased a laundromat in New Haven at the Super Stop and Shop right before the tunnel on the Merritt Parkway. All the while, I was investing in apartment buildings and restaurants with my two brothers. 7 years ago, I sold off my laundromats and spent my time growing my real estate investment and building new stores. Unfortunately, because of the current assault on small business from our state and federal government, with the threat of higher taxes and more government regulation, we have decided to stop growing, and we are taking a wait-and-see attitude that many of the businesses are taking. We have no intention of expanding for the next 4 to 6 years. My name has not often been in the newspapers. I don't think it's appropriate to put out an opinion piece just to get my name out in the media. I've been quietly doing the work that I believe is necessary. That work has brought me here tonight. 3 years ago, I was elected to a commission representing 130 property owners in downtown Bridgeport. The property owners pay an extra $3 million on their taxes to fund this pseudo-government organization. This type of organization is called an SSD, a Special Service District. The goal of the Downtown Special Service District, or DSSD, is to promote and improve the business environment in downtown Bridgeport, and by doing so, attract more businesses and grow the economy of the area. We would be getting no help from the city of Bridgeport. The city of Bridgeport has been in financial ruin for years. A Democrat-run government policy of overtaxing businesses, increased government regulation, and gross overspending have put that city on the edge of collapse on multiple occasions. It's gotten so bad that they couldn't even clean the sidewalks. That's why the DSSD was created. It was our responsibility to pick up where the city had failed. I was immediately shocked by the ineffective leadership of the commission and the outright wasting of money. For example, every year they spend $50,000 on 2 concerts on Levy Green, with a turnout of only about 1,000 people. They also wasted another $50,000 on a first-night event that drew a crowd of only in the hundreds. The idea was that if they could bring people to the downtown, they might come back and spend money in the local merchants. The problem was, the downtown looked terrible. I was outspoken against this waste. I thought it was premature to spend $100,000 with a downtown looking as shabby as it did, and to waste money on these fluff events was unacceptable. Some of the other commissioners felt that since I was new to the board, I should wait. They told me I should wait to see how things work before I started making changes. Fortunately, there were enough board members who were also unhappy with the waste and felt the way I did. Within a year of being elected to the board, I was elected chairman. Under my leadership, the new focus of the DSSD was to stop wasting money and improve the physical conditions of the downtown. A vote to cancel the concert series and the first night event narrowly passed, saving $100,000 instantly. The concert series was transformed into a smaller every Thursday night event behind the courthouse on Baldwin Plaza. We gave Keith Rogerson, the organizer of the event, $100 a week to buy pizza. 3 years later, Thursday nights on Baldwin Plaza has a life of its own, and the event is self-sustaining and has spawned other events on Baldwin Plaza, such as a farmer's market. It's a perfect example of what happens when you stop giving handouts. People get creative. The first night event was also transformed into what is now called Best Night. Instead of a $50,000 waste of money, we gave a grant of $5,000 to the Barnum Museum, who now hosts fun activities for children on New Year's Eve. The turnout is the same, but the kids have a much better time. Next, I turned my attention to improving the appearance of the downtown. Light posts needed painting, trees were overgrown, and there was gum all over the sidewalks. The decorative light posts were my first priority. The light posts were a faded, rusty gray. In the past, someone from the city had tried to repaint them, but since they didn't have a ladder, they were only painted to 6 feet high. These 25-foot poles only painted black 6 feet high. It looked like urban blight at every corner. I put out an RFP, which is a request for proposals to get bids on repainting the light posts. We got responses of 190 to $980 per pole to be painted. Those numbers were outrageous. Contractors felt that because we were a government organization, they could take advantage of us and overcharge us. Not on my watch. I put out a new RFP. It said the DSSD was willing to spend between $25 and $35 per pole to paint these light posts. We had 400 poles painted that year for $38 a pole, including paint. We did the whole job for $16,000. Those first bids ranged from $75,000 to almost $400,000. From the low bid, we saved $60,000. Next, we needed to have the trees trimmed. I called the preferred city tree guy. He came down. He wanted $100 for small trees, $200 for big trees, and he wanted a cop standing with him the whole time. Once again, those prices were unacceptable. I called Bert Porzio from Stumps Incorporated. I know Bert because my daughter was in the same kindergarten class with his at Coleytown. I told him about the RFP. I showed him the job. He said $60 a tree, no big price, no small tree price, no cop. Another $20,000 in savings. We saved over $80,000 that year. And not only is it important that we save that much money, but those jobs would not have been done at the original prices, so the downtown would look terrible. Getting gum off the streets was the same thing. I fought with the board to approve a gum buster machine, a gum removal machine called Gum Buster, a $6,000 machine. After some heated negotiations, I got the board to approve a $3,500 allowance to go negotiate directly with the manufacturer. I was then able to buy one on eBay for $1,300, another $2,200 savings. That Gum Buster machine has been working the sidewalks of downtown Bridgeport for 2 years, and it makes a difference. The News 12 video of the Gum Buster machine is on my website, votingforal.com. Those are some of the accomplishments that have brought me here tonight. I'm for cutting taxes to allow people to keep more of their money, and it is their money. Lower taxes spur increased investment in business every time it's tried. Connecticut's tax rate is third highest in the nation, and Fairfield County has the second highest taxes of any region. There's an old saying, I don't have to outrun the bear, I just have to outrun the other guy. The other guy is New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania. If we can significantly lower our taxes compared to the surrounding states, we can attract businesses to our state like water flowing downhill. Businesses don't want to relocate to other regions. Their workers are here, their families are here. We're close to New York City, and most importantly, this is a great place to live. And for reducing wasteful spending, because tax cuts are only half of the equation. We must also stop spending money we don't have. You can't run your household with a budget deficit. You can't spend more money than you take in, and if you do, you're on the path to economic ruin. I'll bet everyone here tonight can think of something that they were going to purchase and have now decided not to, because it might be better to just wait and see what happens next. If I could find $100,000 of waste in a downtown special service district whose budget was $500,000, a full 20% savings, I'm sure together we can find a whole lot more savings in a state budget that's in the billions. I have a proven track record of cutting expenses. I'm for smaller government. Less restrictions on business mean more businesses, which means more jobs and a growing economy. And I'm for bringing balance back to the State House in Hartford. With a Democrat supermajority of 114 to 36 Republicans, the Democrats can pass any partisan legislation they want. We have one-party rule. I'm running for state representative because I believe we must stop these tax and spend liberals who have commandeered our state government. They are not invincible. Their ideas for government do not hold up when applied to real-world experiences. I am convinced that as a party, we can win back enough seats in Hartford to bring those numbers closer to 50-50. This campaign is not about running against a single Democrat candidate to win Westport. This campaign is about running against 114 Democrats in the House who are shamelessly running our state into the ground in the name of the tax recipient. Who is the tax recipient? The tax recipient is someone who doesn't pay any net taxes because they get more money back from the government in refunds and subsidies than they put in. The tax recipient doesn't care about tax increases because they don't pay them. The tax recipient doesn't care about budget deficits because they'll never be responsible for paying them back. All the while, no one is looking out for the taxpayer. It's the taxpayer who builds the businesses. It's the taxpayer who creates the jobs. It's the taxpayer who brings product to market and provides the services that we take for granted. Electricians, plumbers, carpenters, tree removal guys who are still working hard to clean up our town. Who's looking out for those guys? Those are the guys who make our economy work. Not the 114 Democrats in Hartford. And after last week, it's obvious not the Democrats in Washington. I hope you'll support me so that I can support them. My name is Levy. I'm running for state representative in Westport. There's more information on my website, Voting for Al.